Hey everybody, Jem Schofield here with the C47 and the last episode of Gearbox for 2009. This is sort of a year in review. Not a best to worst, but just some of the stuff that I really like that I've covered here on Gearbox. I'm going to do a part 2, which will follow this, but that's going to sort of be the, I guess, the first episode of 2010. So let's just start. First of all, one of my favorite products of the year, nasty clamps. These things are invaluable. I cannot tell you how much I've used them. I've used them with my H4n, just kind of sticking them on a tripod, right? So you can just go ahead and use that 1/4-20 and just go ahead and use it like that. I'm using it with the Alzo 770L, which is definitely one of my favorite products, a $99 LED light that charges with a USB cable in your laptop. I mean, you can plug it in, it comes with all the stuff, but it has a mini USB to USB, and this thing actually puts out a decent amount of light. You can get the Pro Video attachment for about $12 or $13, and then it has a perfect hot shoe attachment with a 1/4-20 underneath it, and that can also be used with these nasty clamps. So those are a couple of things that I love. Let's see what else I've got here. In terms of audio, if you're doing DSLR style shooting, most of this stuff is not just DSLR style, but if you're doing DSLR style shooting, you need to have a pretty decent directional mic if you're going to go direct to camera. Now, of course, we have the automatic gain control with the 5D Mark II, with the GH1, and with the Canon 7D. So this is not getting around that problem. But if you need a better mic for run and gun stuff, if you need a mic for more directional audio, if you just want to have better quality audio all around, going to a DSLR style camera, then this little Rode mono shotgun mic is the way to go. Inexpensive, about 130 bucks street, and it just takes a 9-volt battery. There it is, just sitting in there, and it even has a low cut filter option there, so you can get rid of some of those lower frequencies when you're outside in windy conditions. So there it is, the Rode, okay, video mic. Pretty cool stuff. Next thing. Now, camera of the year, it's a tough call here. Now, the 5D Mark II didn't technically come out in 2009, so I'm going to give top honors here to the 7D, and mainly because of the fact that it can shoot with all of those different frame rates. I prefer to shoot with the 5D Mark II. That's my choice in terms of stuff, but if I've got a mix and match, or I'm going out to do something for broadcast and it's going to be shot on a DSLR style camera, then the 7D is the way to go. You're talking $1,700 street US for the body, and then for an extra couple $100 you can get the kit 28 to 135 kit lens here. Not the fastest lens in the world, but it does a pretty decent job, and if you have it on here, it's obviously not acting like a 28 to 135. It's a little bit of a longer lens, but a good starter lens nonetheless. Now, what I have attached to this is the little Alzo bracket here. This thing is about $13. It's got 2 hot shoe attachments. You can go ahead and take something like the 770L and you can attach that to this. And I think, you know, you guys can go back and take a look at these podcasts. I don't need to put all of this stuff together. But this is sort of a part 1 of a part 2 of one of my favorite products. What I have here on the bottom is I have this little attachment because this little bracket has a 1/4-20 female, and I have the T-Pod, and you only have to go back about a week to see this thing. This is from Trek Tech, and then basically I'm going to attach this. It's magnetic. I'm going to clamp it in, and this is my do-it-yourself poor man's stabilizer for this year, and you can put this whole thing together for about $75, and you can see here, and then this can actually extend. So you can actually get some more, hold on guys, you know, there we go. So a pretty cool little thing here. I like it. This thing is very versatile. And of course, you've got lots of points of contact here. So this is the T-Pod, and this is the Alzo Video little bracket here. And you can get the whole thing. And of course, these things can be used independently. The T-Pod is obviously a tabletop tripod system, and then you've got the bracket here, which you can use as an additional stabilizer, but also to hold a little light like the 770L. So that's pretty cool stuff. And by the way, I use this little bracket also with my Flip Minnow HD, and I can use that as a point of view camera. So that's pretty hot. So there you go. Let me see what else I got here. Monitoring solutions. Inside of this little bag, by the way, this is a little bag that Fortebrace makes, which I found, which just conveniently is the perfect size to hold something like this. And this is the little Marshall monitor. This one is the LCD 70p. This is the HDMI version. It also has component, okay? So if you want to use this with a camera like the Sony PMW EX1, which I do, then I can use that with component. I understand it's not HD SDI, but it's pretty darn good. And then I also have the HDMI here. Now, what's the advantage to using something like the Marshall? Well, it's really the peaking, the focus assist, the one-to-one pixel features. This thing is about $900 street. So that's pretty phenomenal. And I have the Sony mount here. I use my ginormous EX1 batteries, which will run forever. And because I'm doing so much shooting with DSLR cameras, then this is usually the monitor I use with that. So there you go. That's the monitoring solution. In terms of other audio stuff, of course, one of the clear winners here is the Samson Zoom H4n. Use this for almost everything I do with double system sound. Don't forget that when you're outside, you might need a dead kitten. This one is the Redhead. It's made specifically for the H4n, and it is a great product. The guy who makes these is out in Hawaii. I think these things are pretty cool, and they kind of make your H4n look like a Muppet anyway. So that's pretty, look, it's all working right now. So there you go, H4n, the Redhead. Support systems. One of my absolute favorites, my favorite sort of support system for HD DSLRs is the Event from Red Rock Micro. This thing has a great little body brace, 2 handles here, rod support system, carbon fiber now, and then of course the crossbar. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces basically, and the thing that's holding the body brace, you might call that 7, and it breaks down into nothing. I've got a little accessory thing here with a 1/4-20 so I can actually attach things. These come separately. Follow focus unit, and this is pretty cool too. This is a lens support, so when you're using something like a, let's say 70-200, and you need to support that because it might be, especially like something like the 2.8, then you can actually use that. Now I'm not saying you're going to use this most of the time on this little handheld rig, but this is a great little piece of kit also. So the Event, this happens to be my favorite. Everybody's got a different shooting style. You can check out some of the other more shoulder support style systems. Another one of my favorites here is the Mag Bag, also from Trek Tech out in Oregon, and basically you just use, hold on, this little magnetic piece goes onto the bottom of your camera, and then that basically magnetizes here to this. This thing packs virtually completely flat, and I use this all the time for stuff. If you want to check it out, you can go back to a whale's tail to check that out. And what else do I have? We got to talk a little bit more about lighting. So in terms of lighting, cool lights, LED series. This is the LED 600. It's made in a spot and a flood version. I am currently, except for the backlight over there, using cool lights for this entire indoor setup here. So I've got a 600 over there as my key, and I'm using the $100 softbox solution, which also comes with a grid, so that's pretty phenomenal. I'm using another 600 over there as a fill. I've got the CL256 over here as sort of my rim light, and that's up there, and I love that little light. And what else? In terms of the cool light stuff, I don't know, that's good stuff, you know? Comes with filters, comes with CTO if you've got the daylight balance one, so you can balance the tungsten if you need to. These things can run off of batteries. They are very lightweight and portable. They come with barn doors, and I like them. And in fact, you can get this little guy for I think about $60, And if you get this, you can actually put two 600s next to each other, and that's obviously going to give you more light output. So that's pretty cool. So I'll put links to all of that stuff right there. But I'm loving the Cool Light series. It does not fit the bill for everything, but for small setups like this in a controlled environment, very, very cool stuff that's happening there in terms of lighting solutions. Ooh, one big one here. Let me just show you this. This guy right here from out in California, the Omni Tracker. You guys remember this? I'm going to actually try to open this up with all this junk that I have here. You know, it's a live show. Well, it's not live, but live for me. Hold on. Here we go. There it is. The Butte. This is a really, really beautiful piece of kit here. You've got a laser puck that you can put on these different wheels, that if you put the laser on an object in the same place for each of the wheels, it'll automatically create a perfect move around those. This is a fantastic kind of system here for dolly moves, for really, really interesting stuff. So you guys are going to see more of this in 2010. That's the Omni Tracker. Really, really excited about that. Honorable mention, I don't know if it's really honorable mention, the Compass 15 from Miller. I also love the DS20. So if you're looking for a less expensive solution, I've used that. And if you're more DSLR style shooting, then the DS20 head with the carbon fiber rods from Miller, fantastic. What else in terms of that kind of stuff? You know. Oh, monitoring solutions. The 22-inch Toshiba television that I'm using, great for DSLR stuff. In terms of regular video cameras, the EX1R from Sony, great update to the EX1. And in terms of that, we've got HDMI out, so you can do some pretty interesting things with things like the MX-02 and the MX-02 Mini from Matrox. MX-02 Mini from Matrox. And I don't know what else I got. Ooh, books. A couple of books here I got to talk to you guys about. The Power Filmmaking Kit. That's a great book. If you're going to learn more about light, this is the one, Light, Science, and Magic. I've spoken about it before. And the one I spoke about a few days ago, Cinematography for Directors. So those are my 3 book picks. If you're shooting with something like the 7D or the 5D Mark II and you're shooting outside, you need ND. And for me, the one to go with is the Very N Duo or the Very ND from Stingray. This thing, once you put it on your lens, will give you between 2 and 8 stops of light loss. Not great for prime lenses that are wide, but for zoom lenses and for longer lenses, a fantastic option. So there it is. There's also the Fader ND, which I've never used. Less expensive option. You guys can check that out. And I think that for now, that's pretty much my year in review. Don't forget camouflage netting or camo netting for instant cookies for lighting. I'm not using one right now, but I have and do all the time. And that's it for part 1. I wish you guys a happy, happy new year, and I will see you guys next time on Gearbox.